All right, Bears fans, let's break down everything you need to know from the latest games and updates surrounding our Chicago Bears. We've seen a roller coaster of performances from the team this season, and if you've been watching closely, it's clear that there are a few areas that need immediate attention. Starting with the defensive line, it's been a recurring theme all year that this unit struggles to generate consistent pressure. There have been flashes from individual players here and there, some moments where you think, okay, they're starting to figure it out, but when you look at the team pound for pound, this group is clearly the weak link. Players like Grady Jarrett and Javon Dexter are solid starters, and Montez Sweat has shown the ability to impact games, but no single player consistently changes the course of a game. That's part of the reason why the Bears have had such difficulty stopping opposing quarterbacks, especially when the defense decides to blitz. Jordan Love completely took advantage of these situations, dismantling the Bears' coverage when blitzes failed to reach him. Moving forward, it's likely that the coaching staff will dial back on blitzing and instead focus on shoring up coverage in the secondary. That's a shift that could help, but it also highlights a bigger issue. This defense isn't just struggling up front. The back end hasn't been performing at its previous level either. Pressure on the quarterback sets the tone for everything, and without it, even a competent secondary looks vulnerable. You combine a defensive line that's inconsistent with secondary coverage that hasn't been sharp, and you end up with games that get away from you quickly, like what we saw against Green Bay. On the offensive side, the story has been a little different, but the theme of inconsistency remains. Caleb Williams has shown the ability to turn games around, especially in the second half, but the first halves have often been underwhelming. Against the Packers, for example, his first half performance was rough. 6 completions out of 13 attempts for just 32 yards. That's not going to win many games, especially on the road in high-pressure situations. For the second half, 13 completions out of 22 for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. The difference is night and day. Caleb has the tools, the arm, the vision, and the accuracy to make big plays, but the team as a whole hasn't found a consistent rhythm. Sometimes it feels like the receivers aren't on the same page. Sometimes the offensive line needs a stronger push to give him time, and other times the play calling seems off. All of these factors combine to create the uneven performances we've seen. The offensive line, however, has been a positive story in recent games, stepping up when needed, especially in the second half, allowing Caleb to get into a rhythm and make throws off-platform that can turn the tide. The receivers, on the other hand, need to be more in sync. Even when Caleb has a great read and a clean throw, if the timing is off or the receiver isn't in the right spot, it nullifies what could have been a huge play. Then there's DJ Moore, who's clearly underutilized. With Roma Dunn out due to injury, the Bears had the chance to get more out of DJ, but he ended up being almost invisible in the offense. It's not entirely his fault. This seems to be a collective issue of coaching and play design. DJ is earning a significant salary, and in situations where the team is missing other key players, he needs to step up as the number 2 option. Yet, we saw only a single reception for negative yards and virtually no downfield opportunities designed for him. This is a problem that needs addressing immediately because you simply cannot let a player of his caliber be a non-factor in critical situations. The coaching staff has to find a way to incorporate him more effectively into the game plan, whether it's adjusting routes, giving him priority reads, or designing plays specifically for his strengths. The Bears need DJ to be a reliable weapon, especially when injuries strike elsewhere. On the defensive side again, Kyler Gordon's situation has been unfortunate. After receiving a big contract and being expected to be a key part of the secondary, he has been plagued with soft tissue injuries. 3 injuries this season alone have kept him off the field for extended periods. His skill set as a hybrid defensive back, capable of playing multiple positions and providing versatility, is vital for a unit that has struggled with consistency. The Bears need him healthy, not just for this season, but for long-term stability in the secondary. Right now, the team is dealing with the fallout of these injuries, and it raises questions about how much he can contribute this year, especially given the recurring nature of the problems. Another key moment that stands out is the last play against the Packers. which has become a topic of much debate. Caleb's throw on that play was off just enough to prevent a touchdown. He didn't set his feet and floated the ball short, missing the opportunity to connect with Cole, Cam-et. At the same time, the play design itself put DJ Moore in a position where he was the third option, limiting the chance for a big play. It's a perfect example of how multiple factors, execution, timing, and design, can intersect to create missed opportunities. While Caleb has the talent to make these throws, and while the play call might have had merit, the combination of circumstances meant the Bears came up just short in a critical moment. The effort and execution of the players involved are just as important, and sometimes that's where the game slips away. Finally, special attention has to be given to moments where effort levels have been questionable. Jalen Johnson's lack of commitment on a crucial third-and-short play allowed the opposing team to gain 21 yards and shift momentum at a critical juncture. That play could have been contained with a proper tackle, forcing a fourth down and potentially changing the outcome of the game. When players fail to give maximum effort in these moments, it doesn't just affect the play. It affects team morale, game momentum, and ultimately, wins and losses. The Bears have talented players across the board, but without consistent effort and execution, even the most skilled roster can fall short against competent opponents. All of these factors combine to create a team that is competitive, talented, and yet still struggling to put together 60 minutes of cohesive football. The playoff picture is still within reach, but the margin for error is thin. One loss late in the season, particularly in the final quarter, could drop the Bears to a lower seed and make the path to the postseason significantly more difficult. The schedule still includes critical games against teams like the Browns and Green Bay, and these matchups will define whether Chicago can solidify a top position in the NFC. The next few weeks will be a test of consistency, execution, and the ability to adjust in real time to what the opposition is presenting. Every player, from Caleb to DJ Moore to the defensive starters, needs to step up and perform at a level that matches their talent and potential. Because in a league this competitive, margins are razor thin, and every play counts toward the ultimate goal of making the playoffs. The offense and defense have shown flashes of brilliance, but what separates a good team from a great one is the ability to maintain that performance throughout an entire game. The Bears have had moments where everything clicks. The offensive line opens lanes, receivers find separation, quarterbacks make precise throws, and defenders disrupt plays. But there are still too many inconsistencies that prevent them from sustaining that level. Injuries, missed assignments, and lapses in focus all contribute to these inconsistencies. Moving forward, coaching adjustments, disciplined execution, and maximizing the skill sets of key players like Caleb, DJ Moore, Kyler Gordon, and the defensive line will be crucial. The team has a window of opportunity to climb the NFC standings, but it will require attention to detail, commitment, and resilience in the face of adversity. This season has been a lesson in balancing talent with execution. The Bears have shown that they can compete with top-tier teams, but only when the pieces align. Defensive strategy must be recalibrated to account for weaknesses, while the offense must find consistency both in the passing game and in complementing the run. Caleb's development as a quarterback remains central to the team's success, but he cannot do it alone. Supporting cast execution from the offensive line to the receivers and even situational awareness from defensive players will determine the ultimate outcomes. The next few weeks are critical for establishing rhythm, building confidence, and making every play count, especially in games that are essentially playoff previews. The ability to convert on critical downs, maintain discipline, and capitalize on matchups will separate those who advance from those who fall short. If the Bears can balance aggression with discipline, capitalize on their individual talents, and commit fully on every play, there's a clear path to the postseason. The challenges are significant. Injuries, inconsistent play, and underutilized talent like DJ Moore all present obstacles that require creative solutions and steadfast execution. But the potential is there. The team has shown resilience in the face of adversity, and with adjustments, there's no reason they can't compete at the highest level. The remainder of the season is about ironing out these issues, finding synergy between players, and executing game plans with precision. The key lies in transforming individual flashes of brilliance into sustained, team-wide excellence that can withstand the pressures of critical games in the NFC. The Bears' upcoming matchups are not just games. They're tests of character, strategy, and endurance. How the team approaches these contests will reveal whether they can truly contend in a tightly packed NFC. Offensive consistency, defensive adjustments, and situational awareness will all play pivotal roles. Every series, every snap, and every decision carries weight. The coaching staff must leverage player strengths while minimizing weaknesses, and players must respond with execution and focus that matches the stakes of each game. The season is at a critical juncture, and the Bears' ability to navigate this stretch successfully will define their path to the playoffs. Continuing with the Chicago Bears, there are multiple threads to pull together as we look at the season moving forward. One of the central concerns remains consistency, particularly in the passing game. Caleb Williams has clearly demonstrated his ability to take over a game when he's in rhythm, but the first half struggles cannot be overlooked. When he starts slow, the offense becomes predictable, and the pressure mounts on both him and the defense. In games like the recent one against Green Bay, the first half was a missed opportunity. 6 completions out of 13 attempts for just over 30 yards is a stat line that no team can sustain if they hope to compete in a tight NFC division. However, the second half gave hope. The offensive line settled in, providing Caleb with the time he needed, and the receivers began to find separation. Plays that were broken early in the game started clicking, and suddenly the Bears looked like a team capable of hanging with top opponents. This shows that the foundation is there, but it is fragile. The offensive line must maintain its level of play from start to finish, and the timing between quarterback and receivers needs to be precise. DJ Moore's role continues to be a critical point of discussion. With Roma Dunn out due to injury, the team had a perfect chance to elevate DJ to a primary target, but it didn't happen. He ended up with a single catch for negative yardage, and the absence of any downfield opportunities designed for him highlights an ongoing problem in play design and usage. DJ is an elite talent who demands to be a factor in the offense, especially when the team is missing key pieces. The coaching staff must adapt, designing routes and plays that allow him to exploit his skill set, rather than relegating him to gadget plays that limit his impact. This is essential not just for the present game plan, but for long-term offensive cohesion. When DJ is effectively utilized, he forces defenses to account for him, which opens opportunities for other players and ultimately benefits the entire offensive scheme. On the defensive side, injuries and effort have also played a significant role in shaping outcomes. Kyler Gordon's soft tissue injuries have been a massive setback for the secondary. He is a versatile player capable of filling multiple roles, from nickel corner to hybrid defensive back, but recurring injuries have limited his contribution. The team needs him healthy to stabilize the secondary, and his absence has been felt in crucial moments, particularly in coverage schemes where versatility is key. When he's on the field, Gordon can make a real difference, but the Bears need a plan for games where he is unavailable. Similarly, players like Jalen Johnson must show maximum effort in key situations. Missed tackles and hesitation in critical downs can shift momentum and result in game-changing plays for the opposition. For example, in the recent game against Green Bay, a 3rd and short play went for 21 yards because Johnson didn't engage properly. That effort lapse not only allowed a big gain, but also forced the offense to respond under more pressure, demonstrating how individual moments of underperformance can ripple across the team. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling in the NFL world after an eyebrow-raising comment from linebacker ROQUAN Smith that has fans buzzing across social media. According to insiders who claim to have spoken with Smith, the young star hinted at a possible reunion with the Chicago Bears, a team that he reportedly always wanted to play for. While no official contract has been announced, The comment has ignited speculation that the Bears could be making a serious push to bring one of the league's most dynamic defensive minds back to the Windy City. Smith's career has been marked by impressive tackles, leadership on the field, and a relentless work ethic, qualities that made him a fan favorite from the start. The suggestion that he might be eyeing a return to the Bears has immediately sparked debate among analysts and supporters alike. Could this be a strategic move by the franchise to strengthen its defensive core, or is it just playful banter from a player known for keeping the media on its toes? Either way, the rumor mill is working overtime, and social media channels are lighting up with speculation. Some insiders claim Smith's comment was more than just casual chatter. Sources suggest that discussions between his representatives and the Bears front office may have already taken place behind closed doors, though nothing is confirmed. Fans have started to imagine what a reunited Smith in Bears navy and orange could look like, conjuring visions of unstoppable tackles, defensive touchdowns, and a renewed energy on a team desperate for a defensive spark. While the NFL landscape is notoriously fluid and players' loyalties can shift quickly, the mere suggestion of Smith returning to Chicago is enough to send shockwaves through the league. Pundits are dissecting every word of his statement, looking for hidden hints or subtle clues about timing, contract details, and potential impact on the Bears roster. Even rival teams are keeping an eye on the chatter, aware that if Smith does make a move, it could tilt the balance of power in the NFC. As this story continues to develop, one thing is certain. ROQUAN Smith's name is once again at the center of speculation, and the Bears faithful are watching with bated breath. Whether it's just a fleeting rumor or the start of a major signing, the NFL offseason has suddenly grown a lot more intriguing. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.